Let us stop messing around in some phony contrivance of what this is about. There are a variety of ways to understand this completely illegitimate claim that these masks are about medical necessity. And one of the ways I understand is that a substantial proportion of American resources have been developed with the express intent of making them available to people that have completely different cultural paradigms than we in the United States purport to have. Period. And regardless of what is considered to be acceptable domestically when engaging with a foreign entity, it might be appropriate to attempt a different kind of protocol. Fine. I have the weapons now. My understanding was at some point somebody had been determined to be put in a position to oversee what was supposed to be, I believe, $106 billion worth of aid to women and children. Whoever was allowed to be the custodian of those funds was the wrong person. Their priorities were misapplied. An actual consideration of the welfare of women and children would never have allowed for COVID-19 to occur. Unfortunately, whoever it was that was put in that position did so with a misunderstanding of what the priorities of women and children's lives are for, and now instead, I have hundreds of millions, perhaps even billions of dollars of weapons that are highly sought after by somebody else. The unfortunate thing is that thus far I have met nobody that is in any way, shape, or form qualified to access them, especially understanding as I do the means by which they were developed, acquired, and intended for distribution. I am not going to allow for a misrepresentation that Social Security assistance or Medicare assistance to Americans in a foreign country are an appropriate form of accounting for allowing such a transaction to occur. And I am on record as saying that anybody that would allow for Mike Pompeo to be an intercessor is not acceptable as a statesperson at this level. Not just because I understand he personally was connected and responsible for kidnapping me and torturing me into an attempt to compel me to agree to commit to acts of terrorism, but because during the entirety of his public service term, he has failed to respond to very important, necessary benchmarks needed to safeguard this country and make sure whoever is working with this country through him is likewise safeguarded. It is 9:22 p.m. on September 15th, 2020. I am not going to say this again. You have tried too hard for too long and failed too miserably to not take this as seriously as it is.